take one.
Does
that mean we're doing another one later?
I had the same thought immediately.
We're only taking one. All right, well, here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to Field to Tables. Thank you for joining, either now, currently, when it's being released, or in the far distant future, because the internet never lets you forget. It keeps everything forever. If you would like, we would appreciate if you go and follow Field Pulse on Instagram, where you can get clips and some updates about the show, since they will be coming out every Friday. We might release stuff, whenever we feel like it. Ben, thank you for joining me again.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the welcome back.
So we are fresh off of a weekend.
We are. It's Monday.
Which is okay. Do you like coming into work on Mondays like it's the start of a new week, or is it the case of the Mondays?
I love the idea of Mondays. Like, I'm not behind yet.
Okay.
Because the week just started. But then, very quickly I get behind, and then it's like just worse and worse and worse. So what's your favorite day of the week? Because I've heard some interesting new theories on the best days of the week, and I'm curious on where you stand.
I think Tuesdays.
Really?
My favorite day.
Like work day, or out of all seven?
Oh, Sunday is my favorite day.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Why Sunday?
I've always viewed Sunday as just a day to chill, almost like I'm not religious, but religious people see it as the day of rest, type thing. And to me, Saturday has always been, growing up, Saturday was out in the yard or in the flower beds or riding bikes or doing whatever I was doing. And then Sunday was the day to chill before you went back to school or before you went back to work. And I don't often do nothing on Sundays. However, I did nothing yesterday and it was amazing.
It's nice. So, but you're a grown adult now. Mm-hmm. You don't have your dad making you go out in the yard, which I had growing up. Mm-hmm. So do you choose to do like extra things on Saturdays? Choose to do like extra work done?
Oh yeah.
Do you ever not? And like, what else would you do?
Oh, I don't have the choice. My house is a work in progress. It's a 70s house, and it was kind of neglected by the previous owner, and not to cast shade on her on any way, but she was a widow and just couldn't keep up with it and just couldn't keep. So she had to sell it. And it's a decent sized house, I'll say, average, but on a big piece of land. We got almost a quarter acre, which in the city is a big thing. And it was all overgrown and just covered in weeds and just not well taken care of. And so there's no sprinkler system. I've had to plant most of the grass that's going in. We're building a garden. The house needs painting. It's just got a lot of stuff. So bought the house knowing that my weekends are set for about the next 15 years.
Nice. Yeah. That was me in my previous house before it burned down. So
yeah, I remember that.
Different story. Yeah, you can check out that story on a different podcast. Uh-huh. But anyway, so back to Sundays. So that makes sense. So for me, I always think of the next day. What do I have to do? So if I'm anxious or stressed about work, Sundays usually suck because it's like, okay, well, the next day it's work, you know, again. So I like Saturdays better because I know tomorrow's a Sunday and you can do whatever you want Saturday night. You got Sunday the next day, Sure. That's kind of how I think about it. So you like Tuesdays for work?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like Mondays, you're getting back into the swing of things. Obviously, you're coming back into the office, or if you're driving around or doing whatever, Monday is the day where you get your bearings and what's going on that week, or what I didn't get finished from last week, because everybody has that 3:00 Friday thing that you don't get done, but you can finish it on Monday and you can get it done, and it still looks like you got it done on time. I don't do that though.
Is that what you do?
No, absolutely not.
I'll be on the lookout.
No, but Tuesday, I feel like Monday you spend your day catching up with everybody, seeing what's going on, because things also in our business and Field Pulse, things can happen over the weekend, and sometimes you need to take care of that on Monday. But Tuesday is, to me, that's the day when you hit the ground running. That's the day when you're getting moving on the week, and you're still, like you said, to your point, you're not behind yet. You're still aspirational about all the things you can get done that week. And, you're looking ahead at your calendar and moving things around. And, people are asking you questions of where you can fit things in and do this. And
you're still lying to yourself.
Yeah. You're still lying to yourself about what you can get done. And then, usually Thursday is the kick in the pants of all the things that you did not get done this week.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So typically people say Fridays. Obviously, do you like Fridays?
Sure. But for me personally, to mirror your point, you're thinking about what is the next day. I know what I'm going home to on the weekends, which is a lot of hard work and a lot of moving dirt lately and building gardens and a lot of outside working in the sun. And I've said it before, I come to work at Field Pulse during the week to give my body a break from the weekend. So there's some Fridays when I'm hanging on to every last minute here in the office of, I really don't want to go move dirt.
Okay, so it makes sense. So maybe for you, the system is broken. That's okay. So I've heard a new idea that Thursday is the new Friday. One, because these days, a lot of companies give Fridays off. So like Thursday is literally your Friday. But also if you think about it, for me, if I'm waking up to a Thursday and I'm like extra tired or whatever, I'm like behind or, you're not totally on top of it. You're like, yeah, well, tomorrow's Friday, like it's all good. I feel like I look at it, I'm already on a Friday, even though it's not Friday yet, But then you look at Wednesday and you're like, well, tomorrow's Thursday. It's basically Friday. And it gets hairy from there. But I personally like Mondays and Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Book in the week, book in your weekend. Sure. I get it.
I love the fresh start. I love coming to the office early on a Monday. No one's here yet. It's quiet and dark. I can get some things done and then it's just all downhill from there.
Yeah. As soon as the lights come on, it's all over.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. So this episode will be airing, or it is airing around the time a hot topic, things that are happening is the solar eclipse. Do you know what that means?
Yeah. Where is it hitting again? It's here, right? Texas?
Basically going diagonally across the nation. I think it's as far north as Maine, New York, New Hampshire, up in the Northeast, and just making almost a 45-degree angle across the country. And apparently Dallas-Fort Worth is right. It's in the path.
The path, yeah.
What I've seen is we are dead in the middle where we're not off to the side. We're not going to miss it by, 100 miles one way or the other. It's straight down the middle.
That's cool. So the last one I remember, the big one was 2017, right?
Yeah, 16 or 17, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at an office job and we went out. We went outside with the cereal boxes and like made the little thing, looked up. Yeah, it was kind of cool, I guess. There's another big one a year ago or something. It was like a lunar eclipse or something.
Yeah.
During the day.
Was it a year ago, 2 years ago? Dark. I can't remember.
I don't know. It was pretty cool. I was in a Target and then I walked outside and the air just felt different. It just felt weird. Like I was in a movie or something.
I do remember that.
It was crazy. And then if you looked at shadows, they all had like a little moon.
Like a halo around them or something.
Kind of thing. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Very strange.
That was cool. So are you going to like make plans to rent your house or go to a mountain or something?
No, it'll probably just be another day for me and just a cool thing. Just like the last one. It's coming. Everybody knows what time it's coming, so you can just like the last one, you work, 15 minutes before you stop and then you can see it and then, okay. And just go right back to work. That's just the kind of person that I am though.
Yeah. I just feel like it's one of those things that I'd rather see a really good photograph of, it's like, do I want to go to space? I mean, maybe, but I'd rather just see some cool space pictures,
I want to be one of the last people to go to space.
You're the last one on Earth. We've all abandoned.
That's fine with me.
We've all given up.
You've all given up and moved, and I'm hanging on.
You're farming in the desert.
Yeah, there's just something about the space travel thing that I don't know. There's just too many things that can possibly go wrong. I just don't know about that.
Does that mean you also don't like the ocean?
No.
Because it's basically space.
Yeah, I'm
I think it's worse in space.
I'm not the biggest fan of the ocean.
I hate the ocean.
I don't know.
The worst part about flying is when you're over the ocean, you might fall out of a plane into the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't work for me.
No good. Do you do beach trips ever with your family?
I love the beach. I love going to the beach. I've spent almost every summer as a kid going down the South Padre. I love it.
Do you like sand?
No.
See, me either. Okay. So then you don't like the ocean. You don't like sand. Why do you like the beach?
Well, first of all, the antidote to sand is baby powder. When you're done with the beach and you're dry and there's sand all over everything, you get just a mountain of baby powder in your hand and you just powder. You look really weird for a minute, but if you powder your whole body in baby powder and then the sand will slough off and then you can actually leave all the sand outside. So pro tip there. But the beach, just the sound, the rhythm of the waves hitting. And when you go and it's not a block party, like I hate going to the beach at spring break and just all the people, but
White Claws for miles.
Yeah. Those kinds of beach people I don't like. But I remember going as a kid, and you team up into little gangs of children, and you're building sandcastles, and then the wave washes them apart. Oh, and then you got to start over. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, same. I kind of hate sand. It's nice for like 5 minutes. But I also like sitting in a beach chair and just like reading or chilling. And the waves are nice and serene. But then you look at the ocean and it's like infinity of death and destruction.
Just a big sea of nope.
Yeah. So you don't like swim out there and
I'll get about waist deep.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Dude, waist deep is enough for like 1,000 different things that'll kill you.
Oh, I know. And that's about my tolerance level for the ocean. It's about waist deep.
Is it because you can still see down and you feel a little bit of like safety or comfort?
No, I was going to say, have you ever been to like any of the Caribbean islands? Okay. If you ever go out there, which I highly, highly, highly recommend, it's amazing. The water is so clear, you can be at 60, 80 foot depth and you can see straight to the bottom. That is amazing. Now, my reference point for the ocean is a Texas beach, which
like 6 inches, maybe
might as well be mud and you can't really see that much. Now, waist deep, you can, if you pick your feet up, just off the ground, you can see your toes and it's a sense of security. It's okay. But I'm sure there are parts of the ocean that you can see more and further, and that would be okay. But my point of reference, again, is Texas, and it's not the cleanest beach to be on.
Yeah, we go to Gulf Shores in Alabama, Georgia, and it's pretty clear. It's got really good beaches. Last time we were there, though, we normally go in May, which we are this year. But last time we went in like August, September, I think. And apparently it was like crab season. So there were crabs literally everywhere. Like you couldn't walk without like a crab being there. Like from like tiny little quarter-sized crabs to like giant ones that are like a foot wide. There's everywhere.
Why do I think that's weird? Why do I think crabs are a winter or like a cold season thing?
I don't know. We usually see like a couple, like a little bit, but this was like you get in the ocean and like you take a step into the water and then like 5 crabs just like scurry away. It's freaky. Yeah. And there's some big suckers out there.
Yeah. I
mean, they're scared of you, but I'm scared of them too. So
yeah, mutually. All right, bro.
We're on the same page, man.
Well, we talked about space for a second, which I'm sure everyone thought that we were going to talk about Elon Musk and going to space. But something that's been coming up recently is one of Elon Musk's, I don't know how many businesses he has by now, this Neuralink chip. First of all, what are your thoughts on having a chip in your brain?
On the one hand, terrible idea, one step closer to China and social currency and all that, all those terrible things. On the other hand, sure, bring it on. Let's do it. Sign me up.
I have the same
Make it easier. If I don't have to do the stupid like 2-factor authenticator for Google or Facebook ever again, like I'll sell my brain for Neuralink or whatever. Yeah, it's worth it.
I can see that.
I hate all that stuff, man. You gotta like imagine they don't have to ID you for alcohol anymore. They don't gotta like no more waiting in the DMV. Like that's a pretty good value proposition.
Yeah.
Kill the DMV. Sign me up.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
I have the same sentiment to going to space. I'll be like the next to last person to get it. I've always done this my whole life. To just sit back and see what people do with stuff, you know?
Oh yeah, I've
always been a wait and see kind of guy.
First 10,000 people to get it, they're gonna have some issues. They're gonna turn into monsters or robots.
You just don't know. You just have no idea what's gonna happen and what's possible and what's capable. And
no, I've seen Doctor Who.
Yeah. I have too. And I would do it, but I would just wait. I don't ever buy the first year model of vehicles that come out. They don't have all the kinks worked out. Like that's my methodology for things like that. I'm an anti-early adopter.
That's smart. So
purposely
you don't get FOMO.
No.
That's basically a superpower these days.
Yeah. I don't. I've never gotten it. I just don't understand it.
Wow.
Even as a kid, semi-related, at least in my brain, this is a connection where clothing, like when we were in school, junior high and high school, clothes came out and Abercrombie was huge. Aeropostale or Aeropostal, whatever the hell it is. Aeropostale, was big. And I don't like any of that stuff either. And stuff would come out like in the stores, you know, and there'd be lines out the store to go get the stuff. I don't like brands on I'm wearing a freaking Phil Paul shirt, but I don't like heavy brands or things. I always pick shoes that didn't have emblems on them. To me, that's akin to the early adopter thing. You got to have it. You show everybody that you have it. No, I'm very understated. I always strip all the badges off my cars. Like all the lettering and everything.
Yep.
I just want to be understated.
Well, that in itself is a style and
just clean.
Something people do though. Yeah.
But it's getting back to the brain chip thing though. I would do it, but I would just wait.
Where do you see the biggest benefits are?
The biggest benefits that I can think of,
besides the DMV dying.
That's number one.
Already covered that one.
So I'll take number two is just the access to information. If you don't have to ask the question anymore, if you just have the answer, it might kill conversation.
Yes, that's terrible.
But I think
if
you have the access to the information, I think of it in a way of like an efficiency thing. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to wait. You just don't have to wait for it, you know, and I'm talking about in strict like business working terms of, you know, if I'm diagnosing an AC system or, you know, I'm trying to do a load calculation for, adding a circuit to someone's house, I don't have to sit there and do the math. I can just have the information and I'll know. I'm thinking in terms also of like engineers, architects. They don't have to spend the time doing the calculations as they're drafting and as they're working on things and as an engineer is sizing something. You know, I can almost imagine like a little red light, you know, or like a red glow in your vision. And then the minute you size something and scale something that it works, it turns green. It lets you know, this is going to work. So
it sounds a bit like Tony Stark, Iron Man, where he's doing all the AR, like designing. And it's just, he tells the computer to figure it out. Here's the calculation. Just go do it.
AI would be there to help you with that.
Yeah. So you don't need a Neuralink for that. Like, Iron Man, it's like AR, right? So augmented reality.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing that's coming up pretty soon.
But being able to do that in your car while it's self-driving itself to work and you're working that out in your head and you have it all worked out by the time you get to work.
See, that part I can't visualize. AR, VR, that all makes sense to me. Tony Stark doing stuff with this, fancy pin and, whatever else. But if it's just in your brain and you just like instantly know it, I don't know. That sounds freaky.
Yeah,
like, do you see anything, or do you just like know? Like, I just know this now.
I think of it as maybe because the Apple glasses things just came out.
Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, the Vision Pro things.
We've got one right here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Product highlight.
I asked Gabe if he would buy us one, and he said maybe. So I think we could convince him. I think we need iPads first. We need a good reason, but it'd be pretty funny. So AR,
I could help you with that.
Some good reasons.
Yeah, I watched a video recently of, I believe they're a British company. A guy was cutting wood, just pieces of lumber, pieces of 2x4. And as he was measuring things, he had a whiteboard up in his glasses. And as he was taking measurements with an electronic tape measure, he was taking the measurements and pushing a button on the tape measure. It would put the measurement up on his whiteboard. And he took 10 or 12 measurements, and then he went over to his miter saw and looked at the measurements, measured it out on his electric or his tape measure, and then marked it and cut and cut and cut. And as he cut them, it marked them off as complete on his whiteboard.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I was thinking like reviewed to death, but I mean, that's kind of cool too.
Even that would hurt. I would do it, but even that would hurt. I'm not even the biggest Apple fan, but that would kind of hurt.
Yeah, I would think you would like want to do it, because this is like Apple Vision Pro is like, that's like one of the technologies that most people are like think it's stupid and like overdone, and especially our industry, they've got to hate the whole idea.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you look like, no offense to anybody that has one, but you look pretty stupid wearing that ski mask.
Yeah, they do look pretty dumb. I really don't get it.
Joe, do you have one? No?
Not yet.
Meredith? Would y'all buy one?
I have the Google AR.
Really?
Yeah, I'll bring it in.
Okay.
Or VR.
But Joe, you're our technology video expert. Would you get an Apple Vision Pro?
Maybe the next round. I think I would.
The V2?
Yeah, I wouldn't be an early adopter.
When it just looks like a regular pair of glasses, then you're all in?
If they're like contact lenses, I'm getting.
Oh, that's like round 12. I mean, you've seen the iPhone develop.
How do you charge those
over.
things? They're contacts.
Neuralink.
Yeah. Is it the wireless charging thing where you drive around? It looks like a TENS unit on your eyeball with the little cord coming out, plugged into your cigarette lighter in your car.
I mean,
I'm charging my eyes.
Actually, honestly, if it was just a standard like 12, 16-hour battery life, you come home at night, you take out your contacts. That's kind of a pretty standard routine anyways. Charge them in the little contact case.
No brain cancer warnings there at all. Everything's fine. Yeah. Perfectly safe.
7G in your eyeballs.
Yes,
nothing to go
safe.
wrong there. That's okay. We're homegrown, organic. We're not about that stuff, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So getting down, that sounded like a conspiracy. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it's dreams. First of all, do you follow conspiracies at all?
Wait, which part sounded like a conspiracy?
The like where it's going, or you said like the social credit score. You're kind of touching on
Neuralink.
We're a rock skimming along the edges of conspiracy theories.
Well, the social currency is a real thing though, in China, and I'm sure other communist countries. But what was the question? Do I believe in any? Conspiracies?
Do you follow any? I'm not gonna ask you if you believe any, but nobody would ever admit to it. But do you follow any of them? Like we recently hired a new girl on our customer success team, and she put it in her employee bio that while she does not believe them, she loves to read them.
Oh yeah, I mean there's some funny ones. I don't want to offend anybody though. So like flat earthers, those are pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love reading those Twitter or X threads. Again, I don't want to offend anybody. So if you believe in flat Earth, more power to you. I mean, I believe in some conspiracy theories. I mean, kind of. Like, I believe in like somewhat of like, there is a unified business group that makes most of the decisions in the world. I feel like it's impossible for that not to be true, honestly. Because like if I think about, I'm a pretty ambitious dude, and if I think about like being successful and you get to the multi-billion dollar stage, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like it's just you're gonna get bored.
Exactly.
You've
You get
got to
bored.
hang out with other billionaires. And then it's like, well, what next, guys? Well, let's start, I don't know, pulling some strings somewhere.
We made it this far.
I don't know.
Let's just keep going.
That's what I would do. And I'm a nice guy, but I would just be bored enough to, what's the next step? You got to keep growing.
Let's just see if we can do this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, low key, I believe in some behind the scene, like BlackRock and all those kind of things, but nothing too crazy. Were you following the Area 51 raid a few years back?
No.
Did you not hear about that?
Maybe I missed it. I also have a
I
terrible
forget what
memory.
year it was. Meredith, could you Google that? The Area 51 raid? I think it was when Trump was in office. So that time frame. 2019. Thank you. Do you have any details you could pull up for us? I'll let you pull that up. But so I think it was, Trump era for sure. Wait, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When did he leave office?
2020.
Okay, that's right. I know things. Yeah, I think a bunch of people like stormed Area 51, like a mass crowd, like thought they could get in and find all the secrets or whatever. So they just
I missed this.
No, it was all over the news and stuff. Like thousands of people raided this government base.
Want me to share?
Yeah, any highlights you can share?
It was a Storm Area 51 weekend was the IRL outgrowth of a viral Facebook joke that implored all interested parties to storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us, but all I found were the offline remains of an online phenomenon. They found neither aliens nor aliens.
Are you familiar with GameStop stock?
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing?
I watched, what was the documentary they did on that?
The
Eat the Rich.
A real documentary?
Yeah.
There's
It's really well done.
There's a great mockumentary or like movie version on Netflix or
Oh,
HBO
really?
or something. Yeah, it's called Dumb Money. It's really good.
I've seen that. I haven't watched it, but I've seen it at least scroll past or something.
Yeah, it's actually a great movie. It's not a mockumentary. It's just a movie, It's really good. Anyways, I think it's kind of like that. There are some internet memes going around and it went viral, and then apparently people just decided to do this thing, much like the GameStop thing, take on big government or something. And
Yeah. Big money. Yeah.
yeah. Did anybody die from that? I feel like there was like, so I remember there was a lot of warnings going out. Like, if you do this, like, we will shoot you on site. Like, you can't just storm a military base for fun.
I like the line you said where they can't stop us all. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can.
Kind of giving the same thing as the guy who did the music festival. What was it?
Oh, Fire.
Oh,
Fire
yeah,
Festival.
Firefest. Yeah.
Similar vibes.
I think he got out of jail recently.
Really?
I think he was released, and everybody just expects him to do it again.
WeWork guy. He's popping around these days too. Forget his name though. Do you know that whole story?
Gabe knows who he. Yeah, we were. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was incredible.
Pretty awesome, but just horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think amazing, and not in the positive sense. Just it's absolutely amazing that he pulled it off.
There's sometimes, so we're a software company. Sometimes we talk about our product and value in ways that's more than just a product we sell, right?
Yeah.
And the other day we were talking about like the nuance and the subtle things that we do that offer value, and it makes it more premium. It's worth the price for Field Pulse. And we were talking, and it almost went too far. We're like, wait, no, we are a software company. We can't just like make up stuff to sell. It sounded very like WeWork, where he's like, we're not real estate. We sell an experience. I was like, dude, no, you sell real estate.
You actually deal in square footage. That's how you sell the stuff.
But they blew up because like he did that. He sold, like, he got crazy valuations, like he was software or like he was.
Yeah.
some experiential nonsense.
And I think the gold lining or the silver lining of that whole thing was that he was starting a business, not a religion, because he could have been the next name your religion. I mean,
it was pretty close to
yeah.
it.
And that's my point. Like the enthusiasm that he stirred up in people, thank goodness it was just a business that can fail and that can go bankrupt and that, can dissipate and disappear. But, if he would have done that with a religion and then gotten the tax exempt status, I mean, it'd be a new religion. He's that powerful of a presenter and that powerful of a personality to be able to do that.
Yeah. Have you seen, there was a really good documentary on it on HBO. They actually removed it, which is really strange. And they replaced it with a new one, which I don't like as much. But all the people, like they had a lot of victims like being interviewed on the documentary, and a lot of them, maybe all of them, described him as like a religious figure, and like that's how he thought of himself. And like, yeah, pretty scary.
And he got to keep most, if not all, the money that he was paid, which I think is the strangest part of all of that.
Yeah, he like skipped the country, right? And something, I don't know if he even went to jail ever, which is,
I don't think he did.
if not, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah. So, all right, conspiracies. You?
I'm on the same train as Hannah and our CS team. I just love reading them. I just love reading them. They're so entertaining, and I read it like a book, just like I read anything else. I read it and I try and understand the case from their point of view, and it's a figurative book where I can just read it and I can just close the book and put it down and just move on with my life. But I heard recently, I think it was a podcast, I don't remember which one, where somebody had mentioned we just need to rename conspiracy theories into spoiler alerts. And I thought, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good way of looking at it.
I like that. That's funny.
Because a lot of them getting off into like the edge or the fringe ones, of like flat earth and this kind of thing. I'll put that in a separate category, but of anything to deal with where you went like big business, big money, big government, they just keep coming true. And so I think that adage of spoiler alerts fits perfectly for those big money, big business, type conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think most of them, it's only a matter of time until somebody else comes forward and more evidence is found and this and that, and just the stuff, it just keeps coming out, it just keeps happening.
Yeah, it's only a conspiracy until it comes true.
Mm-hmm.
What's on the crazier ones, the least likely to be true? Because they all could be true. You never know. What's the craziest one you can think of that you've enjoyed reading about?
Lizard people.
Okay. Is that the one where they think that's where we came from?
No, they think that like those are the people in power are all lizard people, and they live in the center of the earth. They only come out to make,
Seriously?
Yeah, that's what they think, and they're lizards masquerading as humans.
Oh my god, that sounds like. Do you ever watch the show Parks and Rec?
I love that show.
Dude, it sounds like they have a conspiracy group that they come up like once per season.
Yeah.
And they worship some kind of lizard god thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
People actually think there's lizards in the center of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they think it's like a colony or a hive in the middle of the earth, and they pop up, and then they have to change form into a human being, but they're actually a lizard.
I would love to get that person who thinks that on like Joe Rogan, so he can just like grill into him and like investigatively try to figure out what the facts are.
And just ask questions.
Yeah.
And then just ask a little bit more questions, because that's where these things fall apart, is like they hold up under the first round of questioning. Most ideas and theories do, but then you go into the second, the third, the fourth layer of questioning. That's when it starts to come apart.
Is that first round of questioning usually like, well, you can't prove me wrong?
That's
where like all the basis is.
Yeah, that's the methodology for most conspiracy theories, is like, well, prove me wrong. Well, I can't prove to you right now that gravity exists. We just know that it does. I don't have time for that.
But you can't also prove that there aren't lizard people at the core of the earth pulling all the strings and making the earth rotate and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And, I also can't, I can't cut somebody in half and show you that they don't have human organs. And I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Lizard people. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Again, I read that and then I close that book and I put it down and I know that it's out there. All right. Move on.
Yeah, there's a new one too. That's less of a conspiracy, more of just like the scientific community. Again, probably more popular than the others we've talked about. So I don't want to like harp on it, but that like scientists now think that like life came from aliens like a long time ago or something like that.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
I can get on board with that. I can see it.
All right, so it could be possible.
Yeah, possible.
A billion or million or whatever it is years ago. Where'd they go and what have they been up to? That's my question to you. The aliens.
Depends on what their motives are.
Bigger, better things, or they just died off?
I was going to say, are they traveling, the worst alien movies where they come and they, suck up all the Earth's resources and they're like locusts, right? And then they move, Independence Day, right? Where they come and they just use up all the planet's resources and then they just move on to the next one? Or are they exploratory or are they survivors? I think it depends on their motive, which...
Did they make life on purpose or was it like an accident?
Yeah. Yeah. And just a weird science experiment and went wrong and just, oh no. And then they had to leave because it was too weird or I don't know. Who knows?
Like, it's like Star Trek when they're like not supposed to get involved on other planets and they accidentally touch something. And it's like, oh, everybody's like, shit, run.
Oh, shit.
Get off the planet.
Yeah. I think there's lots of different avenues you could go down. And I think you could have multiple scenarios depending on their motive. And who knows?
It's interesting.
Whoa.
You
Denver,
tired.
Denver Airport. I'm all about Denver Airport.
Oh, dude, let's get into it. That one's legit. Is that up there?
We were just talking about that at the end of the office the other day. Everyone hates Denver Airport.
I'm assuming you've been.
I've been multiple times.
Yeah,
I hate that place.
I mean, I like it. I think it's kind of cool.
The location is terrible.
It's creepy.
The security, at least it has been a few years, but the way that security used to be, just security was so close to the entrance and like the baggage claim, not the baggage claim, but the check-in area, that the security lines would back up through the entrance, through all the airlines where you get checked in to outside. Now maybe they've relocated it or put it somewhere else. I don't know. I haven't been there in at least 6 years, 7 years. Maybe it's gotten better, but I hated going there.
We've got pretty small airports relatively because they have the train system too, right? Mm-hmm. In the airport. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. So they've got the horse.
Yeah.
They've got the barbed wire fence.
Well, let's talk about the horse.
Okay.
It's a stallion. Is it like a horse up on its back feet, right?
I don't know. We need some visuals.
I think it's a horse up on his back feet.
That's a blue horse with red eyes,
Yeah,
I believe.
with red glowing eyes.
Yeah.
And this is not a conspiracy. This actually happened. A part of the horse fell off and killed the artist. Mm-hmm. I think upon either construction, when it was constructed on site, or when you're building a structure like that, you pre-assemble it and then you disassemble it, you ship it, and then you reassemble it. So it was either during the initial construction or during the reassembly, what I'm calling the reassembly process, where part of it fell off and killed the artist that created it.
I mean, there's just some things I could call out that make it clearly it was not an accident to be creepy. Like at the very least, it's creepy. Why is he so skinny?
He
looks hungry.
The only argument I have against that is the fact that it's near an airport. I'm willing to bet that some government bureaucrat demanded that the highest point of light on that thing be red as a safety precaution because that's what the government code says, or the FAA code says for lights around tall objects, right? Like every building has a marker light, every cell phone tower has a marker light. And so I'm willing to bet there's at least the chance that those eyes have to be read by some mundane government regulation. That's the only defense I'll give it. I'll say that.
That's creepy.
Oh, it's definitely creepy. But let's talk about the fence.
Oh, the fence is undisputable,
Yes, that is
in my opinion.
not cool. Why?
Barbed wire fence, Denver airport, facing inward, not
Yes.
outward.
It is not to keep people out.
I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Yes.
It's creepy.
That's not the way that that's supposed to be.
I don't know what Meredith's pulling up, but it looks good. We got some artifacts, secret societies, some kind of grave
The
thing.
Masons.
We got a mural, maybe. Not seeing the fence. Underground bunkers and aliens. Nazi runways. Yeah, so if people don't know, the whole thing is like Nazism, right?
Yeah. It's somehow tied to Nazism, and
It used to be a concentration, like it was supposed to be a concentration camp, something like that.
that's it. So the barbed wire on top of the fence, usually it's angled. Well, it all is angled, but usually the angled part is facing outward.
Yep.
On the Denver airport, it's pointed inward,
Yep.
like a prison.
Yep. Creepy.
Why?
Creepy. I wonder if anybody's like tried to hop the fence and it's been more successful because it is faced the wrong way. Like it'd probably be a little bit easier, but still difficult, right? Mm-hmm. Because you still got like what, a whole foot of like outer.
Like 16 inches, 24 feet of barbed wire, and if it's either 3 rows or 4 rows or 5 rows of barbed wire running across the top, or it's coiled like the prisons are.
If you had to hop that and you had like 2 minutes to prepare, what would you do?
As long as you have a jacket or some big piece of clothing, you can do it easily. You just throw the jacket up there, climb up over, use the jacket as a pad, and hop
Okay,
over.
without the jacket, what would your first idea be?
Try and get the mass of your body, like your stomach and your legs, on the barbed wire, and then just kind of flop over and fall
You just
over.
go for it.
Uh-huh.
You just get like the initial
Done it before. Yeah, you just... It
over
was,
one of those.
it was not razor wire. It was
gold. Yeah, that's a little more intense.
Yeah, razor wire is different.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that'll completely jack you up. But barbed wire is just, strands of wire with little barbs in them. Traditional barbed wire. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I would just pick up the wire cutters and cut the fence.
Well, yeah, sure, if you have those.
Well, they were on the ground. You didn't look.
Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me, boss.
It was a riddle. The murals,
Yeah, the murals are all weird.
they're all like World War II. They all got like, there's probably not actual swastikas in the murals, but they all look like Nazi soldiers, right?
Yeah, they all have that kind of, from what I remember, again, it's been a long time, but that kind of brutalist, that Russian, that German artistry touch to them, where it's, very chiseled jaws and squared off features, and, everything is very brutish and overly masculine.
A lot
almost.
of death.
Yeah.
I think there's like images of like dead kids and stuff. Like it's really creepy and terrible.
Yeah. And I'm sure other people know more things. Those are just the highlights that we were talking about the other day. And it's just weird. And I heard recently some, besides the conspiracy theories being named spoiler alerts, which I really like, I heard a saying the other day that I also can really agree with. It goes something like, whatever can be contributed to stupidity should not be attributed to malice. So whatever you can explain away by somebody being dumb, you should not say that they were trying to be evil. So that's why I said the thing about the eyes on the horse. Like, you would think that's evil and glowing, but then I can see perfectly well an FAA inspector, like, nope, government regulation says that light has to be red. But sir, we need them to be white or yellow or blue. That's not what the government regulation says. And I'm the inspector, and I'm the one who gets to sign off, and you're going to follow my rules. But sir, it's going to be really creepy if it's red. That's what my rules say to do, so that's what you're going to have to do. I don't care what people think about it, because I wrote the rule book.
Freaking OSHA.
Yeah. Gosh.
Ruin everything.
You know, the thing with the razor wire, I can see that being put up, and the contractor, knowing contractors, hired the cheapest people that they could find. You know, back when that was built, I'm sure $3 an hour or something back in the day. And they got 3/4 of the way around the airport. And then the business owner showed up and was like, this is supposed to go on the outside. We're almost done now. I ain't going to go back and fix it.
Dude, that's real though. Like I've done jobs where you're like halfway done and you did it the wrong way. And you're like, well, this is how it looks.
Just going to finish it.
And,
that is most contractors.
it's an artistic expression. And then you finish the job and the whole time you're thinking of, okay, how can I explain this to the homeowner in a way that makes sense? What can I BS my way through this time?
Yep.
Oh yeah. We've all been there.
And then you get finished and they're like, this is amazing. And you just,
Like, oh, wow. A unique angle you chose. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
you get paid and you have the check and you're still waiting for but because I've had that happen to me, people hand you their money and then they have something to say after the fact. And so until I get the money and I get my tools and I'm in the van and I'm gone, that's when I know I'm free and clear. So that same kind of thing could have happened
they'll
on
still
that
call
fence. They do. But the same thing could have happened about that with that fence where it was, you know, the people assembling the fence put it on the wrong way. And I've seen this too, where say again, like an airport inspector, you know, the property owner, call him whoever, comes out and says, well, this is pointed the wrong way. And the business owner, hands him the contract and says, well, you didn't tell me which way to point it, knowing that his guys screwed it up, knowing that they did it the wrong way. But you can go back to the contract and say, well, you didn't tell me which way to point it, so that's the way I pointed it. And you have nothing to go back on because it's not in your contract to say to do it this certain way. So I had the freedom to choose on how I put this fence together, and that's just the way it looks now. And then conspiracy theory gets a hold of it and it catches fire, but it's just actually we weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I bet our audience could write us some stories about
absolutely
best moments of what you did on accident and how you spun it to be an artisan and handcrafted.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and bespoke, and yes, and all those things.
All those words.
So if I gave you a prompt for a story or a tale, maybe that you heard from somebody else, and you want to send it in to us, I will go through it and analyze it here on the show. And so if you want to send that to us.
We need to check, but I think we still have the podcast email.
Okay.
podcast@fieldpulse.com.
Send us an email to podcast@fieldpulse.com and we will be in touch.
If you don't hear back, try Instagram or Facebook. You know what? Join our Facebook community, you know?
If that email doesn't
go.
work, call. Just call. We'll get in touch.
We're in Dallas.
Yeah, we're in Dallas. Just come on, find us.
Come on down.
We're giving Joe so much to edit out. Sorry, Joe.
All right, there's some weird other random questions I want to hit really quick. We got here. This one sounds funny. What's the weirdest thing a guest has done in your house?
Has done in my house.
I know you have some weird homeowner customer stories, but
what someone has done in my house.
Like a guest, like you have, friends over for dinner, drinking wine, and Timmy is gone for 30 minutes and you're like, oh, where's he gone? And then you find out he did something weird.
No.
Sometimes you get that weird friend who's like a little too comfortable in your house. Like maybe like goes into your like master bathroom. Like, dude, no, there's a guest bathroom, What about the weirdest thing you've seen in somebody else's home?
On the job or not on the job?
Well, I know your go-to story for on the job. So maybe either one, but maybe skip that one. Okay. I don't know. Do we want to hit that one already?
Okay, so I'll share it here and we can cut it and put it later. On the job, I got a call to a perfectly normal call on a Saturday afternoon. This guy's shower door was leaking and he just had his bathroom remodeled and the door didn't fit properly and he needed it adjusted and the contractor left, blah, 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 blah. Okay, no problem. So I show up, suburban home, not a track house, but a nice enough neighborhood that every house pretty much looked the same. Every house had the same brick. Normal neighborhood. And I walk in his front door, and he's a nice enough looking average guy, cargo shorts on, t-shirt, kind of a tech looking dude. Okay, no big deal. His staircase is welded raw metal. So it's not painted in any form or fashion, and it's completely unfinished steel. Okay, you had somebody build that for you, but they did a really crappy job. It's not finished. It doesn't look very good. Yeah, okay, I've seen a lot of bad work in my time. Okay, fine. Kitchen, normal. Walking through his living room, couches, TV, furniture, everything's fine. Walking through his master bedroom, his master bed is a metal cage. Thick metal, like wrought iron, blacksmith made a metal cage.
Why are you guys laughing? What's the deal?
And in the corner of the bedroom, there is a dog crate that is of equal size and strength and, maybe like 3 foot by 3 foot by 5 foot long. What looks like a dog crate. There's no dogs on, at least I cannot hear a dog. I don't see a dog. I did see dog food bowls and leashes and collars, but no animals, no 4-legged animals walking around anywhere. And his bedroom is painted black with red carpet, and there's no lights. The only light you can see is from the hallway walking into the room, and then the bathroom, which is completely normal. The bathroom he just had it remodeled. It's nice. It has white tile floors. It's a white tile bathroom and with a glass door and a nice closet. And it's like normal freak. And then you walk through and then the bathroom is completely normal. And so the only light coming into the room is from the bathroom and from the hallway where you walk in. And nice enough guy walked through there, not an explanation, not a blip, not a blink, nothing. Him nor me. No communication was said about this, but just walk on through. Go and look at his door and, hey man, this door's outside of my skill set. I'm not a glass guy. He had a real glass door with like a real weather stripping on it and that kind of thing. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. So, hey man, here's a couple of numbers. I know here's some glass guys that I know, and they can help you. I don't have the tools. I don't have the kit. I don't have any of the stuff that you need for this door. I'm sorry.
You knew some guys that would be down for that kind of job.
Yeah.
Glass pros.
Yes. And then I called the glass guy who I put at the top of the list, and I just said, hey, when you hear from this person, you need to go. Don't send one of your guys. You have to go. You're welcome. And I just left. Never heard from him again. He never called me. I never did. But
some people they just like custom homes.
Bespoke.
Yeah, bespoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Artisan.
Yeah.
Master beds made out of iron. Heavy iron. Yes. So that was on the job. And now
they want it to last forever.
Yes. No, that thing will. Yeah.
Iron's pretty sturdy.
It's probably gonna crack the foundation at some point. They'll have to have piers put in underneath the master bedroom.
They want something that they can hand down to their children.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a generational.
Last beyond the ages.
This is a generational master bed and dog bed combo. It's a set. It's a matching set. You go to Ashley Furniture and get the side tables and the headboard that match. He got a master bed and a dog pen that match. It's just a different store. I mean, it's probably around back of the same furniture store if you went and looked.
Yeah, it's in the back of Ashley's, the employees only.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that employees only door.
Got the extra.
It's just back there.
Artisan crafts.
They just don't put it out. It's so heavy to move. I can see why they don't want to put it out on the showroom floor.
For sure.
They just keep it in the back with a forklift. I mean, that thing's god awfully heavy. I think it's not even the weirdest thing. It's just the coolest thing. And the house went up on the market. I went to a house that has a water slide and almost a complete water park inside of it. It's not weird. It's just
cool.
Freaking cool.
Was it like a really big house?
Oh, it was giant. It was, I don't know, 40,000 square foot house.
I always respect, because that's like, that's, you said 40,000?
Yeah, 40,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, okay, dude, you can do whatever you want. You can have a spaceship in your house. I don't really care. What impresses me is when you have a really normal size house, like 2,000 square feet, and you still have something cool like that. Like you figured out a way to build like this underwater, like underground pool kind of stuff. You know, that was pretty cool.
I don't think I've seen anything particularly weird. Oh, I would say I went to somebody's barbecue, and their air conditioning system was a waterfall inside of their house with fans blowing on it. They didn't have a regular air conditioner.
Was the water cold?
Oh, it was chilled. It was incredible. It was impressive how it worked. I don't know how it worked. I didn't ask, but that was interesting. That was one of the weirdest things. And I wish I could describe it. It made sense, but basically it was from floor to ceiling. There were 2 4x4 posts on either side, and there were all these slats, and they were angled in a way that it created the water fell down through the middle. And so for people not watching, it would hit one side of the board and then fall down to another angled board, and was just a funnel, basically an open funnel. And so you could hear the water rushing, and it was a nice sound to have in your house. But then there was 2 fans, 2 not box fans, but 2 industrial fans behind it that were blowing air over the water. And that's what cooled this guy's house down, was just a water circulating. And it was in the middle of his living room, and it was a really cool sound. It was really peaceful and nice. I can't imagine the humidity inside that guy's house, but you would have thought he had a regular air conditioner.
That's pretty sweet.
Very interesting.
That sounds like my brother would build that kind of thing. He built a cold plunge in his backyard, and he it's pretty nice. It's like dug this nice, I don't know, 6x5, 6x4 hole or whatever it is, and it's tiled and everything. He's cooling it with an old AC unit, and like putting the condenser or whatever in the wall. It was like 32 this morning. So that dude's crazy. But now I was gonna show you this little. It's a quick little thing my wife sent me, but this is pretty impressive. It's a small house, but you can tell like how insane they built this bathroom.
Oh yeah,
you know, like not a huge space.
That's cool.
But they built a nice for the listeners. It's like
a dropped shower pan, a recessed shower pan that can also be a tub. That's also a shower. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a giant 8x4 like inlet in-ground shower tub combo with a huge waterfall kind of thing, like the double waterfall.
It's like the rain shower head thing.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It is interesting.
But like it didn't need a 5,000 or 20,000 square foot house.
Yeah, they did that in 47 square feet.
Yeah, pretty impressive. All right, I think the last thing, I mean, you run the show, but I don't know. You want to rank some potatoes?
Rank potatoes? I'm growing potatoes. Is that what we're talking about?
You are?
Yeah.
What kind?
I've got sweet potatoes, russets, reds, and Yukon Golds.
Like all of the kinds.
Yeah.
You're like a Whole Foods. Nice. Cool. No, apparently it's a hot topic right now, according to this. So we got 5 or 6 different times. So let me just throw one at you. I like the idea of ranking stuff on the show just to keep it, legit with the field service. But I think on this one we'll just do like A, B, C. Like tier A tier, B tier, C tier. Okay. So first up, waffle fries. My assumption is like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A waffle fries
as a baseline. A, B, or C?
C.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I think Chick-fil-A fries are way overrated. Meredith's scowling. My wife's probably scowling. They're too mushy. They're like, it's too much.
Yeah.
There's no crispness.
Yeah, they're not. I need a little bit of crunch to them. And they do get soft and wavy.
And the best part about eating fries for me is like you can get one tiny little fry or you can get a whole handful. And get that, it's like.
I really appreciated the pinky being up when you grabbed one fry.
Yeah. Fry or latte. But no, I mean, it's like field pulse. Like you want balance. You want option and choice in life. And the Chick-fil-A fry, you get one. I mean, maybe you can do a double, but that's too much. That's unreasonable. I
think they taste good. You can get a lot of salt on them. They do hold garlic salt very well. I'll give it that. I do like garlic salt on fries, but
The argument I hear from some is like they transferred the sauce really well.
They do.
They're a good conduit. But if that's your whole basis on the fry, then like just eat the sauce.
And my counter to that is too much. It holds too much. You need just a little bit. Just
The
a
fry
touch.
has to stand on its own. It's like saying In-N-Out fries are okay if you get them extra burnt and crisp and then dunk them in, whatever else.
Yeah.
No, those fries suck. All right, we'll rank fries a different time. All right, mashed.
See, I'm so tired of mashed potatoes.
All right, now we're in trouble. The fact that you didn't say A is crazy.
I grew up, not that we eat mashed potatoes all the time, but I had them a lot. I'm done. I've had them every single imaginable way, every single imaginable flavor thing that you can think of, and they're all the same now.
You sound like the person that has lost all joy in his life.
With mashed potatoes, yes, I've lost all the joy of mashed potatoes. And I'm having to rediscover this because my daughter has now discovered them, and we've taught her how to make the instant mashed potatoes, like the real nice one, the Idahoan ones that come flavored, garlic, salt, or fully
Idaho
loaded.
Baby Reds or whatever.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. You can get all those different kinds, and she loves it. And I'm having to sit through just reliving eating all of these mashed
Yeah, but
potatoes.
that's not even
again.
like good mashed potatoes. You need pound for pound butter potato.
Yeah.
You need garlic powder.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of chives at the end,
Yep.
or parsley, right? Yeah, parsley.
Yeah. Been there, done that. I'm over
Okay,
it.
it's a mission of mine now to rekindle your love for
Good luck.
mashed taters, because that's just sad. I can't have that. All right. So C. So 2 C's for you. You just hate potatoes, and you're growing 9 different varieties, so that makes sense. All right, hash browns.
Amazing.
All right, good.
A plus.
Good. Where's your favorite hash brown from, if it's easy to get?
Waffle House, done, end of story. Smothered, covered, chopped, and diced
Love it.
every time.
Waffle House has a really good breakfast bowl. It is like they toss everything in there.
Oh, really?
Have you had that?
No, I've only gotten one thing from Waffle House my entire life.
Well, you tell me you've had a waffle.
That's on my one. I get the same thing every time. Let me
Plus
put it
the
that
hash
way.
browns.
I've gotten the same thing since I was. As far as I can remember, my entire life, I've gotten the same thing from Waffle House every single time.
What time of day?
Early in the morning, like 5 in the morning.
Okay, so you're not like the midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Waffle
I've
House.
been that person.
Okay.
I've been the 2 to 3 to 4 a.m. Waffle House
But
person.
you've grown.
I've
You've changed.
changed.
You've
I'll
improved
put
your
it-
life.
yes. my life has taken different turns where I don't have to be the 4 o'clock. Now, even 4 o'clock is like you're getting up to do something with your life. I've grown up from being the 3 a.m. Waffle House person. I've changed.
That was a college staple for me.
Yes.
Meeting friends there at 2, 3 a.m.
Yep.
It's dependable. Much like Field Pulse, it's always there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're gonna get. Reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the breakfast bowl, getting back to it, it's I think baseline hash browns. Then
Okay.
they throw in like bacon.
Like a bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
They throw in bacon, egg, sausage, and then something else, I think, and they end it with American cheese slice just right on top. Not even melted. It's just like sitting there. But the steam eventually will melt it.
Sure.
But, you mix it all up, a little salsa. Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
It's good.
I'm not going to get it, but you go for it.
All right. Well, hash browns for you, A.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
So we got 1 A, we got 2 C's. Tater tots.
Love.
I mean, it's basically a hash brown in cylinder form.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hash browns, A plus. Tater tots are an A. They're right there. I love them.
I feel like hash browns are more solely breakfast, and tater tots are like really not breakfast, right?
They're anything.
Yeah.
They're an anytime snack.
So breakfast food automatically wins because it's breakfast food. Yeah, agreed. Okay. All right, A- for hash browns, or no, tots,
Yeah.
chips, standard.
I would say B because they can. I don't like all of the. Who is it? Pringles that did all the weird, or was it Lay's that did all those weird ass
They all
flavors a
got
couple
weird
years ago?
flavors.
Yeah, not a fan. Just keep it simple. The kettle ones, just a salt and pepper. Oh,
Those are good.
perfect. Simple.
Kettle or the bomb.
No one eats the Fritos around here, so I eat them because they're just simple. Now they're not potato chips or corn chips. I know they're different, but they're just simple.
See, Fritos to me is one of the best, but only if it comes with chili.
Yeah. I'll just eat them though. I grew up eating them.
Okay.
I remember when they came out with the Frito scoops, me and my dad just demolished bags of those at a time.
Do you like chili though?
I love chili.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's our ranking for Daniel's potatoes. Tune in next week. He'll bring some for you to try.
And I'll eat them while we're talking.
Like an apple.
Yes.
Very good. When will your potatoes be ready?
If we just planted them in the spring, they should be done, I believe, late summer. And then if we plant again late summer, early fall, they'll be done late winter, early spring. So I think there's 2 seasons for potatoes.
Sweet. Sweet. I couldn't. Joe bursted out laughing and got me. He got me. Yeah. Give me a sec.
But I hope I can share the love because we are about to have, if everything works out, this is our first time growing potatoes. If everything works out, I should have a bumper crop of all different kinds of potatoes. So hopefully I can bring the wheelbarrow up here and share the love.
Heck yeah. What else are you wanting to grow in the near future?
Well,
You know, carrots. So like the standard Texas tomatoes.
yeah, tomatoes are going, I'm going hog. I'm going full hog on tomatoes.
What kind do you have? Heirloom, cherry.
So heirloom is a category, meaning that it hasn't been modified at all. The heirloom is the original seed. It hasn't been,
You caught me. I'm not an expert.
yeah, it hasn't been genetically modified or it hasn't been bred to be something else. It's the original strain, if you will. But the big beef eaters, the
big
Romas
ones.
and the little tomatoes, the little
ones.
cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah. When my daughter was like 2, she would walk out to our garden and just like pick and eat like 7 or 8. It was awesome.
When we were growing up as kids, we had 2 pretty good sized. There was one year we had 2 good sized cherry tomato trees, and my mom was furious at us. She never got a single cherry tomato off that thing because my brother and I both, as soon as we saw them like turning red, yellow and red out there, we'd haul ass out to the backyard, out to the garden, and just pick that thing clean all the way up to the top. And she was, will y'all leave it alone? They're so good. But everything, man, we're trying everything. We had a good sized garden last year, but we had a summer unlike anything that we've seen in a while. Last year was incredibly hot for an incredibly long period of time. We almost broke the record last year for heat. Number of days over 100 in a row.
Consecutive, yeah.
Yeah, we almost broke the record last year. Again, my house being the project that it is, I don't have my garden built the way that I want it to. And so a lot of things, my tomato plants last year, they just look like tumbleweeds. I mean, they just fried. Everything fried. We got some onions last year. We got some garlic last year. We got a couple of things, but everything just fried so much. So I'm completely revamping everything this year and start over.
My wife did all the basics. We do cucumbers too.
Okay.
Make pickles. And then she got a dog.
She got a dog. This has been a topic that we've talked about for.
She got a dog. It's not my dog.
That's a beautiful dog, though.
She is.
And she's nice, right?
She is. She's just still a puppy, so she's 1.5 years.
So when will she be our dog, or will she ever be our? Will she forever be her dog?
So I will be getting a dog at some point. I want to get one of those little pugs.
Okay.
You know, like a classic bulldog.
A pug or a bulldog?
I can't remember the difference.
A pug just has
I
that
think a bulldog.
obnoxious scrunched up face, and they're little and brown. A
bulldog's pretty small too.
can be a good size. They can be a hefty dog.
Really?
They can be 40, 50
All right,
pounds.
let's pull up bulldogs.
of just solid sausage casing.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, bulldog. So you got pug.
Yeah,
So
pug
left
is on the
pugged,
left.
and you got Frenchie on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going full bulldog.
Yeah.
But not American. I had an American bulldog growing up. Those things are way too big.
Yeah.
Those are like 70 to 100 pounds.
Yeah,
They're
they do get
monstrous.
hefty.
But yeah, standard bulldog.
You gonna teach them to ride a skateboard?
Oh, heck yeah.
Please.
Exactly.
Please, Ben.
Yes. I want him to just sit there in like his little bed by my office, just all day.
You got to get a remote
They're
control
lazy.
skateboard to put him on and him just ride around. He looks like he's riding a skateboard, but really you're driving it.
Oh, yeah. Give my son one of those like John Deere driver tractor things and he can sit next to him and
Yep.
go for a ride. I just want a lazy, chill, cool dog. Easy to maintain. I mean, obviously they have like hospital bills, which suck because they're just demented in the face.
Yeah. And you can get an operation done on their,
Nasal.
on their nasal passages, just like what humans have to do with the sleep apnea thing, which is basically what they have.
Yeah.
You can get them fixed. You can get them worked on and it makes them live longer too and last longer. Makes them live longer. They can breathe better.
Makes them last longer. No, I'm all about a healthy investment. So I do want to get the years out of it if I'm going to put that much work into the thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. A return on your investment.
Yeah, ROI.
Yeah. An ROI on yes. Money
Exactly
spent for
like
love given.
Field Pulse. We are a well thought out ROI. You get your return, much like a healthy bulldog. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's our new tagline.
10, 15 years.
Field Pulse is the bulldog of software companies. Good ROI.
Fun fact, American Bulldogs actually got their name from like biting bulls' faces.
Oh,
Yeah. Pretty cool.
so that's a no shit name.
Oh yeah. No, they would like wrangle bulls, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's something I want no part of.
Yeah, dude, they're scary dogs. We had him when I was like 12, 13. He died when I was maybe 18, 19. We rescued him, but there was one time we had this thick rope leash, like quarter size or whatever, and I was in the backyard. We were doing some work on our back fence, so I tied him up to the trampoline just for 20 minutes or whatever. Tie him up. I walk away. 5 seconds later, he's by my side. He just
pull out trampoline with him?
No, he just chomped through the rope
Oh, he ate through
with one bite, dude. Like their jaw strength is insane.
I thought he was just going to walk the trampoline around the yard and just
could
drag it.
as well. Yeah. He went the lazier route, which is classic. But yeah, they just bit through the rope. Yeah, it was insane. So,
Well, I think it's a good place to wrap up for today.
all right.
We like dogs. We miss our in-house or our in-office dog. She's coming back at the end of April, though.
We need a catchy tagline that involves a dog so we can copy Mitch.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. We'll work on that.
Yep.
We'll try not to rip you off, Mitch, but you got a good one, man.
Not too directly,
No, not direct. Absolutely not, but he's got a good one.
just semi-directly.
We'll be adjacent.
Sell software pet dogs.
There you go.
There we go.
But we're not all selling those, so that's why we need to workshop it.
Software for dog people.
Oh, no, because then I think that's taken. That's like a dog walking thing.
Now it's Tito's is not for dog people.
Oh, yeah.
That's
We can be-
Tito's? Wow.
Out of category.
All right.
Maybe we can do a partnership with Tito's. Tito's, if you're listening, get your bottle right next to Red Bull.
We can
Just send
definitely
us an
work on
email,
this
podcast@fieldpulse.com for all the information.
because they're definitely going to be listening to this.
You can apply. We do have limited spots for sponsorships.
Yes.
But we'll see what we can do.
We will see if we can fit you into our busy schedule.
That's right. Daniel, thank you for having me. This was
All right,
fun.
Ben. Thank you for coming back. And hope to see you on the next one.
All righty.
All right. Later, y'all.
Cheers.